feel familiar? 5 years, I think.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. But, yeah, a little familiarity, but enjoying this right now because I know how hard it is to get back to this stage.
And you've obviously been in the finals before. How important is it to get that game?
It's important to get every game. Obviously, especially, against a team like that, you can't let games slip away or home court slip away because they're very good in their home building. So we want to continue. We're going to try our best to protect home court, get every game possible. Game one, obviously, is the first one. That's the most important. Each game, the next game is the most important one. So, game one is the first one of the series, and that's why we're going to think it's very important.
Do you relish the challenge? Obviously, you love defending. It's one of the keys to your game. How do you relish the challenge of defending this team?
You got to. It's what it's all about, man. Playing against the best team. Obviously, you want them to be healthy because you want to guard and play against 100% team. They're the championship team. They're still champions regardless. But these are the moments that I live for, that we live for. Playing against them, not just competing on offense, but defense. For me, guarding those guys, this is as good as it gets.
10 days off for the Warriors, 5 days off for the Raps. Do you think there's kind of a pros and cons to both sides?
For sure. You could look at it, both either way. You could say it helped them a ton to get healthy, or you could say they might be rusty for sitting off that many days. It's probably helped us quite a bit to have 5 days off. 5 days, we might be rusty too, but regardless, you go to go out and play basketball. Game one is kind of a feeler game, but at the same time, you want to win that game and figure out what adjustments you might want to make or need to make according to how that team is guarding you or what approach they're taking offensively and defensively.
Danny, you're pretty unique as a player in that you're a current player, but you'd be able to figure out opportunities for yourself away from basketball, specifically with the media. You have your podcast, you've done some stuff for Turner, TSN, and Sportsnet. Is it part of a larger plan that you're looking post your career to be in broadcasting, or how do you approach it, I guess? Or how do you approach it?
Something definitely I'm looking into. Obviously, just learning some stuff, building a resume. Hopefully, I have some more good years left in me. I would love to keep playing as long as possible. Everybody wants to be Vince Carter, but they can. A lot of guys get a chance to choose when they retire. Or not many guys, anyway. Very rare. You get the opportunity to choose when you retire. A lot of guys don't have a choice. They have to retire because most teams won't pick them up. But hopefully, I get the opportunity to choose when I'm done. But when I'm done, that's definitely something I'm looking into doing and exploring into.
Have those opportunities made you? Have they made broadcasting more interesting to you?
For sure. Okay. I did the Sportscast for You at Syracuse a couple of years ago. Learned a lot, some good hours, long hours, but it wasn't easy. And after that point, you kind of look at TV very differently and understand how hard it is. Everybody thinks the media is easy to do. It's not an easy job. You realize how hard it is for some of those guys, those analysts, politicals, those guys, TV analysts, the commentators, and kind of see. Radio is not for me. Certain things are not for me, and how tough it is to be able to talk as fast or have that voice. You just see the level of difficultness in the things that they do.
Danny, you understand. You're one of the few players on the team that understand what it takes to win a championship and understand that. What insight have you given to your teammates?
Just all year trying to prepare them of doing things the right way, being professional. They know that though. Just the little things. That's kind of what's going to separate a good part of the game. Setting good screens, cutting hard, getting rebounds, chasing down, loose balls, getting the 50-50 balls. The effort plays. Those go a long way because every possession matters, especially on this stage.
Danny, along those lines, has kind of talked about the strength in numbers that you have in terms of the depth. All 10 of you, anybody that's coming off the bench is coming off to deliver points. Do you really feel that every day in practices at this stage?
Do I feel what again? Sorry.
Your coach all year has talked about the strength in numbers and how good your depth is. Do you really feel that all the way through?
Yeah, I think we have our bench has been playing great, and hopefully we get OG back, which would be nice. It only make us a deeper team. I think we have the personnel, the bodies to be able to defend the way we want to, and also get out and run offensively.
Danny, along those lines of talking about effort plays, is there a guy better in this than Kyle?
No, he's definitely the most scrappiest guy I've ever seen. Doing the little things we need to do, things that don't show up in the stat sheet that make him special. He does take the charges, he gets loose balls, he does the boxing out. Just every little thing possible you can think of. He's helped our team a ton, and that's helped us get over, win over, some series and beat some opponents in certain games.
I think there's a play in Game 6 where you dove twice on the same possession for the same loose ball. Is that kind of emblematic?
Him saving the ball, not giving us a turnover, giving us extra possession, giving his body up for it. As you can see, he's been walking around with an oven mitt most of the playoffs. He's got more elements, I'm sure, throughout of him diving on the floor, taking charges. But that's what he's here for, man. He knows that that's what he's good at doing, and he does it for put his body on the line. And he wants to win. It shows you how badly he wants to win.
Danny, I'm just curious, can you think back to your first finals and what you were thinking or feeling and how that compares to right now?
Yeah. It's all a shock to me doing all this media stuff with the bright lights. But I was so young and so scared of probably Pop and my teammates of letting them down. I knew that I was focused and locked in the game, that I had to perform well, and just worried about my job, what I needed to do. It was tough for me. I guess I didn't really enjoy it as much as I should have. But the following year the same, because we lost. We had a chip on our shoulder. We were so focused on getting back and winning, and the way we lost was a rough one. It was a rough summer. But yeah, I remember how nervous I was my first year around, and I don't think it changes much throughout the year. Guys, regardless, you still want to do well. You still have, I wouldn't say nerves or nervous, but you get some anxiousness, want to get out there, excitement. It's a fun time. These are the games, times that we dream about as kids. Regardless of how many times you do it, you know how hard it is to get there, to get back to it, and to win one, how special it is. It only gets your emotions going a little bit.
Danny, you've played with Kawhi a lot. He's not a super demonstrative guy on the court. Does he function as a leader, and if so, in what ways?
For sure. On and off the court, he does a great job of taking care of his body, doing little things, watching film, telling guys where they need to be in walkthroughs and certain plays. And on the court, telling guys where he wants them to be, what he needs, what he is looking for, what he sees, and tells us what we need to do to step up. Whether it's a rebound, boxing out, or taking better shots, he is vocal enough to tell guys more than enough, and he speaks his mind when he needs to.
Are there times when the emotion escapes more than we see from the outside? Or have you seen him blow up with anger or laughter or any of that?
Not many blow-ups, but once in a blue sometimes. I wouldn't say anger either, but he'll let it be known if you're not doing your job, or something went wrong or something went right, or he'll let you know, good shot, or most of the time just keeping guys even keel. Let them know, we took the first hit, stay in it, or we're up big, continue to put your foot on the gas, don't let up, little stuff like that.
Danny, apologies if this has already been asked.
It's okay.
If the way the last two seasons played out, how curious are you to see what a relatively healthy Kawhi can do against a fully actualized Warriors?
It hasn't been asked yet, and I'm very interested to see how it plays out. Hopefully in our favor. Of course, he's going to want to play well. Everybody wants to play well, so everybody's going to go out there and give it their all, give it 100%. Two really good teams going at it. I think it makes for good basketball. Obviously, we want to show for more than 48 minutes another team, or rise to the occasion for more than 48 minutes and for more of the games to give ourselves a better chance, because we know how good they are. So I'm very interested in seeing how well he plays this series.
Danny, how much is your experience and Kawhi's experience? You guys have been here, you've done all of this before. How much does that help you guys in this process?
Some. Just being a little more comfortable, familiarity with it. But at the same time, it's a new team. It's a different, and we're facing a different Golden State team. Obviously, they have some new pieces. Some of them are healthy, some of them are not. We don't know who's going to play yet or not, game one or game two. But I guess being here, it helps a little bit of being able to not be as nervous and understand or know how bright the lights are really going to be.
It's media day. It's way too serious here, so
yeah, it is. It is very serious
here. So I
here.
tried Photoshop.
Oh,
two Raptors artists.
That's Norm. Is that Pat McCaw? Maybe.
What if I said it was?
Oh, I was gonna say me and Norm, but I was gonna say Pat. Okay.
A bit of a dream team. So if you guys had.
Is that an app? Is that an app?
It is.
I gotta get that.
Maybe you probably would be better at it. Norm had no idea. He couldn't even get himself.
No.
Yeah, seriously, he had no idea.
Okay.
Danny, how do you prepare for German break?
How do you prepare for it? It's hard. You really don't. He's just a guy that's kind of a wild card. That some nights he'll be hitting some shots, some nights he'll be getting all the assists and rebounds. You just have to match his energy more so than anything, and kind of know his tendencies and hope that he doesn't get himself going.
You've played a lot against a lot of great players in your career. Does he fit that definition of a great player you guys prepare for?
Yeah, but in a different category. Obviously, a lot of people around the league hate or dislike, some of the way he does things or his antics or whatever. But you got to respect that guy. He's great. He's great at what he does. He gets himself going, gets his team going. He's that motor for them. But I said he's one of the greats in the aspect of the Dennis Rodman categories. Each guy has a different category of how well or how great they are. But he's definitely among the greats in the category of high motor, rebounding and knowing his role and doing it to the best of his ability. Type of guy, type of player.
Do you feel like Drake plays a similar role for this team?
No. No, I don't. I hope so. Maybe he does. I just think Draymond's probably more effective on the floor than on the sideline. Drake on the sideline, even though he may get in some guys' heads, which I doubt, against the 4-time champions, 3-4-time champions. I don't think he's going to play much of a role or factor. If he does, great. We hope so, but I think that Draymond's probably more effective.
Is it funny when you hear...
learned about Toronto as a basketball city since coming?
Just how passionate they are throughout the whole country. And the fans, I said, and I don't want San Antonio fans to take this the wrong way, but they obviously San Antonio was great, but I didn't see people jumping on top of trucks, street lights, and the city going crazy. Luckily, no one got arrested, but San Antonio was crazy too, fanatical, and they're there when we come back to the airport. But the fans, we couldn't get out the tunnel, and just how much of a riot it was because of the win going to the finals. And maybe it's because San Antonio were a little spoiled, but the fans here have been amazing.
Paul Pierce once said...
She left me out. She had another Drake question. I thought she had another Drake question.
Paul Pierce said during the Nets series a few years ago, he said it feels like you're playing against 20,000 people in here and the 20,000 people outside.
I guess so. When I was on the opposing team, it was a tough place to play. We knew that. Being here, I see how hard it is for some teams, and I see how we win some games and we're not even playing well because of our fans. But they're a big key, and thank God we got home court advantage, which is going to help us a ton, and hopefully we can protect it and keep it.
Danny, how challenging is it, if it is a challenge, to compartmentalize the business aspect of the game, free agency coming up, etc., with playing during this time?
Not too challenging. We're not focused on that. We're not thinking about that right now. Our focus is taking advantage of this opportunity and hopefully winning a championship. We have a team now. We have what we have here. We don't want to pass up on this opportunity. Let's slip away by thinking about this or thinking about that, or just pretty much blocking out the noise. Worry about everything else later. So when you have veteran guys that's been around for a while and professional, they understand how the process goes. We skip no steps. We don't look ahead. We don't think about the summer or the future. We think about and enjoy now.
So you took you back into the
compare
past.
where this Golden State team is compared to ones you've played against in the past?
I'll let you know at the end of the series.
Sorry to take you back into the past a little bit, but in that game one where Kawhi got hurt and you guys were delayed, do you remember what the feeling was among your group?
Yeah, honestly, at the time I didn't know what the hell happened. I knew we were getting close, and I was like, "What the hell's Kawhi? Why is he not in the game?" I'm like, "Oh, he's hurt in the back." I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" It's like, damn it! And then one bad thing after another trickles down, and kind of like quicksand, we see it happening. You're trying to stop it, and they're just so good. It was tough to stop. And then finding out that he was hurt pretty badly and wasn't coming back was a pretty big blow to take.
Danny, you've run the Golden State a few times being in the West. What over the years has made them the power that they have now?
Just the pieces they put together over the years and that they built, where they've come from, and just how they run their offense, their system. They play great fundamental basketball and great non-fundamental basketball at the same time, with guys that shoot 40 feet from the basket pretty well. So when you have both of those things and you're good at them, it makes you tough to beat and hard to guard. They set good screens, they find their shooters, they make the extra pass, they rebound the ball well, they run, and they can shoot from 40 feet. That's a tough team to guard when you put it together and put it on paper.
Does that make it the toughest challenge? Just the fact that as structured as they are, at any time, Steph can just launch one from wherever.
Not just Steph. They also have Clay, and now Jamarcus may be playing, who knows, and they also have Kevin Durant, considerably the best player in the world. So we don't know that. Hopefully, obviously we'd like to have all of them healthy to get their best shot, but we don't know who's playing game one. But they have a lot of weapons on their team.
In San Antonio, you played with guys that have a reputation for being quiet leaders.
Yeah.
How does Kyle's leadership compare to maybe some of the other vets and team leaders?
It's not as quiet as people say or you think. He's very vocal. He speaks his mind. He speaks up. He lets it be known he's a floor general. But in the sense of the little things that he does that go unnoticed by the average fan that we notice, it makes him a quiet leader. Him telling guys where to be, where to rotate, talking, calling out switches, boxing people out, diving on the floor, taking charges. Those little things make him, the quiet leader, not just the offensive end of the floor, but the defensive end of the floor as well.
Hey, Danny, I know in the NBA Finals you get a lot of ticket requests.
Yeah.
Can you put that in words? And also, how do you politely decline people who make requests?
I don't politely decline anymore. I just decline, sometimes rudely. But no, that's probably the craziest part of this time of year. The funniest and the wildest, things that you'll see and hear are the ticket requests, and you'll come to realize how ballsy some people really are, and how cool they really thought you were with them, or how close they thought you were with them. We're not that close. If I don't invite you to a regular season game, I don't think this is the time to think that you're going to get a ticket and just think that there's a bunch of left over. Even the people like, oh, I'll pay for them. Nah, sorry. So I try to be polite about it sometimes, but most times, certain people I'm just like, for you to ask, it's kind of ballsy. We're not that cool or close. But it's funny. Some requests are funny. I tell my friends about it, tell my family about it. You get a pretty good laugh and keep it moving. Certain people I haven't heard from in like 10 years, since Cleveland, or since way back in my early San Antonio days, or since high school. There's a lot of random requests that you get, but it makes it easier when you have friends and family that filter it out and say, you go talk to that person, they'll figure it out if they can get you tickets or not. A lot of times the family like, no, there's no ticket, so that makes it easier.
Talk about hearing from people that you haven't heard from in a while.
Yeah.
There was a graphic that came out that basically said most of America is rooting for the Raptors. Have you found like any other players or anything have reached out, like you'll beat these guys?
I think a lot of people want to see a new champion or root for the underdog. I think people are tired of Golden State winners. That's probably part of it. Whatever it may be, I'm glad they're on their side.
Danny, what does this mean for not only you, but you think the rest of the team, especially vet guys like Mark, like Kyle? You've been there, you've won one, you've been to two, obviously, but to get that first chance, that first taste for some of these guys?
I think I'm the happiest more for them than anybody else. Obviously, I'm happy that I'm here. I love to be here. I think we all deserve it, but I'm more so happy for those guys who have never experienced it, especially for a guy like Mark and Caleb who've been in the league for so many years, and this is their first time, experiencing this. So, in that sense, and with that being said, I feel like it's our job, our duty being Kawhi, to not let them down and try to do our best to let them experience, what it's like to be the last team.
Not that you wouldn't relish this against whomever you were playing, but is there something special about trying to take down the
For sure.
juggernaut?
I don't think anybody would have it any other way. Why not want to play against the champions in the finals?
Danny, in terms of broadcasting, is there somebody who has a job that you think would be the ideal job for you?
There's a lot of guys that I've looked up to, even since I was younger. I went to school for learning about it, TV, commentating, TV analyst type stuff. Obviously, I always looked up to Stuart Scott, Greg Sager, those guys. God rest their soul. But so many guys, even watching Stephen A, Jalen Rose, Shannon Sharp, some of my guys' favorite Skip. He was a big Spurs fan, so even though some people hate him, Max is my guy. He's always rooting for me. He always has my back regardless of how bad I'm playing. But hopefully I can, prove those guys right about me, those who are, rooting for me. And hopefully one day be able to have a job with them and talk basketball with them one day.
Okay, thanks, Danny.
Thank you.